All right. We made it. Exhaustion and all, but we made it. So we'll see if the screen comes up and start from there. So let's see what we get. And Jason or Jacob, there's no way you could have given me 5x5 yet. All right. Now let's see if y'all can see me. Okay. How about a 5x5? Jacob says I see ya. All right. There's good. So how about hearing me? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Do I make sense? There we go. North Shore says 5x5. Okay. Good deal. Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday night. I'm exhausted. Working that freaking deck all day. And it's just like, cut up and beat up and raw and whatever. But, it's part of working around and stuff that you got to get done. So, okay. So start off. Greetings to my family here. And of course, my moderators. Jacob's here, North Shore's here, Patriot Sandwich Maker's here. So the three amigos are in here. As per normal, trolls, if you want to stick around, shut up, okay? Because if you open your mouth and say something off, you get the executioner's axe. So, off with their head was it the Queen of Hearts said or something like that? Something like that. So, okay. My little start and soliloquy here on this one, and I kind of want to get into something that's important. Get ready for a minor SHTF, okay? And could be major depending on what's going on. And I'm not talking about cyber polygon or anything like that with this. I'm talking about this weather, all right? I guess it is extremely hot in the majority of the country, or the weather is just nasty. Okay, I mean, you've got wildfires going out in the Pacific Northwest. California is already saying get ready for brownouts and blackouts because of the heat and, of course, the idiocy of government. Hey, let's close down the last remaining nuclear plant we have, El Diablo. So, of course, hey, let's come up with reasons why we can't generate electricity. You've got storms and tornadoes and everything like that in the Midwest. The Northeast is looking absolutely crazy. I mean, here today it was 88 degrees with 100% humidity. And yeah, I was outside working in it all day. And I kid you not, I probably drank about 3 gallons of water out there today and still probably sweated off 5 pounds. But have your preps ready, especially those guys in line of the California wildfires. And I guess, Southern Oregon has some sort of possible worry too. Have your bug out bags ready. Have your car tanked up with gas. Be ready to move at a moment's notice. Y'all tried, I remember stories from last year about people trying to drive back and forth, and it was like, oh, they went to bed and everything was fine. They came up and they could see the fire, at the edge of their property or whatever it is. You need to be ready at a moment's notice. If the fires are close to you, you need to have somebody standing fire guard, okay, and watching if it gets close enough, because fires can move real quick, and it may be miles from you, and an hour later, it may be yards from you. And what you're like, oh, we'll leave at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, could turn out to be 2 o'clock in the morning. And the only way you're going to know that is if somebody's there to wake you up and tell you. So, be definitely aware of what's going on. Like I said, power outages with this heat and everything, now imagine, 107, 110, 113. I went through a week of 100 teens in Vegas one time, and I think I told you guys about it. It was brutal. And, at least that was a dry heat. And yes, it's a little bit more comfortable than a humid heat. But at least the people in Vegas, in the desert, for the most part, are somewhat used to that and, somewhat prepared for it, cities wise and everything. you know, you're in Montana where it was 100 and something last week. I mean, that's not normal temperatures up there. Your infrastructure is not built for that. So be prepared for those kinds of things going on. I mean, this is from reports I've heard supposed to be the hottest summer on record. Uh, you know, be ready for it. I mean, is your AC able to handle it? You know, is your financial situation able to handle your electric bill going up, not only for the cost of electricity, but because you're going to be using more? What are you going to do if the power goes out to stay cool? Do you have a plan of action for that? So, you know, things to think about, because, you know, the heat can be very deadly. Whoops, I just pulled my cord and moved my phone. There we go. All right. So that was kind of what I wanted to start with tonight, for something for everybody to pay attention to. You know, I just see Treasure Seeker saying Medford, Oregon is supposed to be 115 tomorrow. Okay. That's not the desert, guys. Okay. That's not Death Valley. That's not, you know, Clark County, Nevada. That's not Phoenix. I mean, that's the Pacific Northwest. That's not supposed to be that hot. So, you know, this is when it would be a good time to make sure you have water stored, okay? Even if it's, I'm not saying go buy bottles of water. This is when you start thinking of, gee, you know, that bathtub in the kids' bathroom or something like that, a second bathtub that you don't use, fill it with water and say, okay, for, you know, while it's hot for the next couple of weeks, everybody's just using mom and dad's bathroom or whatever it would be. So, you know, having 5-gallon buckets with water or whatever, because if the power goes out, guys, chances are your other services are going out too. And you're going to need water to drink, to do whatever, to eat, to cook, to wash. And, you know, in this heat, the last thing you don't want to have is water. You need water for to cope with the heat. So, all right. So there's a topic to start. And I figure there'll be comments and questions and everything like that. So we'll kind of get into what's normal around here. As usual, it's a Q&A session. For all the new people here, this is how we do things. You ask questions, I give you answers if I possibly can. If you have questions, please put your questions in all caps. That way I know it's something directed at me. If you're having a conversation in amongst yourselves in the chat, I'm all for that, don't get me wrong. Keep that in lowercase, that way I can skip over those and get to the questions that are directed to me quicker. I start at the top, I move my way down. Obviously, there's a lot more of you than there are of me, so you guys can type a lot faster than I can talk. I will get to them as fast as I can. If I haven't got to your question in about 10 minutes, please repost it, and I will, if I see it a second time, I'll just skip on over to you. But okay, so keep it clean. PG-13 is fine. Okay, nothing's off limits. You want to? Like I said, we've talked about 70s TV shows and rock and roll music, and God knows whatever's on y'all's mind. So, but let's kind of get into it. I know we haven't done a Saturday night one in one in the last month because I was out for a Saturday. Then we had the contest on Saturday. So for all those people that just make the Saturday ones, it's probably been a while since we've done some Q&A. So, all right. That being said, I'm going to scroll to the top and see where we go. So, because I see a lot of caps in there. Eduardo, thank you for the super chat. That is greatly appreciated. Okay. Let's see all the welcomes to highs. Bruce here left the Trump Ohio rally to see me. Okay. All right. Now I feel special. Maybe I'm an important one, you know, that I guess maybe I don't have to get vaccinated or quarantine or lockdown, because if I'm important like that, reference to this morning's video. Gray Sky saying 101 in Seattle. That's insane. And then Scarlet Brimstone, Wisconsin been getting rain all week. was talking to my cousin in Chicago today, and she said it's been pouring buckets there like crazy, and tornado warnings again today. Let's see. Jody Stoller, new prep, building an F-15E in the backyard. There you go. You can put it right next to that nuclear missile silo you got, right? Work out that way. Robert Winslow, all I'm getting is a frozen screen. Pinball is a big shit-eating grin on his face. So at least I'm in a good mood. be like that, it'd be interesting. Ace Maduro, what's tonight's libation? I'm going light with a glass of milk with a chocolate bar. After all the work I've done today, I'm sticking to the NA stuff tonight. This is it. It's like there's no way in the world I need anything alcoholic in me after everything I sweated out today. My body is probably kind of a little on the weak side here. Okay. Let's see. Big Bear Preps, got your first head of cauliflower today. Nice. Okay. I got my broccoli. I got some broccoli, a lot of my broccoli bolted, but I do have, what I planted? I think I've got about 20 broccoli plants. I'd say about 12 of them bolted because of this heat, but a few of them, but the other 8 still are trying to form heads. So we'll see. But, again, cold weather crops don't do well in hot weather. But good deal on getting your cauliflower. I have got no cauliflower. I have got no Brussels sprouts, and I've got monster cabbage plants with no heads of cabbage. KDS 1069, 113 West Texas temps. I remember living in El Paso in those, and then it'd be, 28 at night. Robert Bates, how close is the deck to being done? Well, it took Mrs. P and I a couple of days to rip the whole thing out and then burn it. Okay. And to give you an idea, the deck is 38 by 12. Okay. So it's just a rectangle. It's nothing fancy. It's 2 feet off the ground. So it's nothing hard, but crowbarring it, ripping out and everything. And then, so today I got the first 16-foot section. I got the whole thing framed in on the outside frame. I got the first 16-foot section framed in and all the joists in. So that was it. But yeah, it'll be. It's more than a weekend. Let's put it that way. I'm hoping to have it done here in a week or so. Let's see how I can do. But of course, it's getting evenings and weekends and everything like that. And I'll be back at it crack of dawn tomorrow too. So. Mama KB, try to drink some Gatorade when you're outside. That's what we do here in Florida where we're working. I don't have the Gatorade, but I have a big old pitcher of water, and it's just tipping that thing, filling it ice water. So, let's see. Diane S., do I think the grand solar minimum is responsible for this crazy weather? Absolutely. Okay. And I know a lot of people are going to say, HARP is active again and everything, and I'm not doubting that whatsoever. But this is grand solar minimum stuff, and we all knew going in hotter summers and colder winters. Okay, and I think Texas was living proof that we had a colder winter last year, crazy winter at least, and now we're seeing hotter summers. It's something that we really have to adapt to, guys, because the grand solar minimum is not a one-year thing. Okay, depending on who you read, this could last till at least between anywhere from 2050 to 2100. Okay, so for most, if not all of us, that is the rest of our lives. So, we have to adapt to our way of life to it, which could mean the hours you're doing things outside. Certainly the way you are growing your gardens. Okay. It may be planting your cold weather crops a month earlier, or flipping it. I mean, I'm going to try to redo my broccoli and everything like that going into the fall and see if I can get them in that cold weather this year, in the cooling weather. But I may not plant those until mid to late August, and see what happens. So, it's all a learning experience and trying to adapt. So, that's the biggest thing that we as preppers are good at, is adapting. Where the rest of the world's just like, what the hell happened? We're like, okay, we're trying to stay ahead of the game. Jacob A, get a water, Bob. Yeah, I'm not saying those are a bad idea. If you're gonna store water in a bathtub, absolutely, that's a great idea. Uh, they're they're messy. Let's just put it that way. Uh, KKR got an electric bill today in San Diego, 3 times what it usually is, and it's only June. Yeah, I think, what was it? Electric rates went up about 7.5% last year, and they're expected to go up more than that this year. And if we have a hotter summer, which, like I said, means more AC or whatever, we're going to have to get creative here, because unfortunately, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't have an unlimited pocketbook, and I certainly don't feel like spending house payments on electricity. So. April Carey, I have some tomatoes that grew up out of our catch-all corner in our yard. Where we throw scraps, use barbecue charcoal, etc. Tomatoes are beautiful, but are they safe to eat? Absolutely. They're called volunteers. Okay. We have a volunteer lettuce plant in our front flower garden. It's already bolted and gone by now, but Mrs. P and I laughed and looked at it and go, how the hell do we have lettuce up here? Chipmunks. Squirrels, whatever it would be. Yeah, they're perfectly fine to eat, no problem. Like you said, where you throw scraps, use charcoal, things like that. You're growing it in compost. That's basically all it is. Yeah, those are perfectly fine to eat. Yarn prepper, you use your juice from canned vegetables. Yep, that's a good idea. I cook in the juice from the canned vegetables. I use that as part of the meal because there's a lot of nutrients in that juice. But yes, again, that is going to be some sort of, what do you want to call it? I don't say water replacement, but some sort of liquid source that is another good place to use for nutrition and hydration. Let's see. David Williams, there we go. Long time no comment from me. I've been watching every video trying to regain my reading vision. Great commentary on all. Love and respect to you from Central Mexico. and same to you. And the sombrero is sitting right next to me here. It's out of my reach at the moment, but Catra Campolietto, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How is my garden doing? Tomatoes are doing very well. Peppers are doing very well. We're probably close to potato harvesting time for me. I just mentioned the broccoli. My corn is about knee high. Onions are doing well. Peas are done. Green beans are producing like crazy. We ate some of our beets for dinner tonight. Let's see what else we got going on. Like I said, nothing on the brassicas, the cabbage, the cauliflower, the Brussels sprouts. Celery, this will probably be my last time trying to do celery. It doesn't seem to be very conducive to growing here in this climate. Cukes are doing okay. Squash, my friend's squash, he's got leaves that are, 24 inches across on them. Is look great. Mine are puny little things. So it all depends on, sunlight and heat. I'm in good soil. He's in natural soil. Well, no, I take it back. He put it in garden soil. So yeah. So some things do good. Some things do not so good. Like, the two of us talked. It's like, okay, we're figuring out what works in my, because he's probably 300 to 400 feet higher in elevation than I am. And we'll figure what grows well in his area, what grows well in my area. He'll grow more of what grows well there. I'll grow more of what grows there. And we just swap. It's like, oh, okay, you know what? I got here's a bunch of beans, and he gives me a bunch of corn or whatever it would be, So, uh, Rooster Cogburn, any prepper apps for supply, stocking, etc.? The one that I don't know, there aren't many. There aren't any that I know of. The only thing I know of is Prepper Nerd's food stocking system, and that is excellent. So you can go to Prepper Nerd on YouTube and see how it works and everything like that. But I use it for our food storage, and I know a lot of you guys do too. It's really good stuff. Alex Meaden, thoughts on gold and silver? Buy both of them. Okay, we're in a nice little lull right here. So prices have stayed pretty stable. Silver's right around $26 an ounce. I know it got up around 28, and everybody's like, woohoo. And then it backed off. But this is just an opportunity to buy a little bit on sale. I still stick to my call that we see mid-30s on silver by the end of the year. And if you go from here, that's 6 months, and you see, let's say it's 35, and you're going from 25. That's about a 40% return. I'll take that. But again, I'm not looking to trade silver. This is something you want for the long haul. I'd be buying both here. At the very top of the show, I had sent you guys a link to an article that came out this evening on telling everybody now's a good time to buy gold. So a lot of financial professionals and houses are telling you that getting into precious metals is a good idea right now. What do you hear about prices on oil and I thought it said petro foods. I got to go back here because it just shot me all the way to the bottom. Well, I can't go that far anymore. Oh, no, wait a minute. I went too far. I was able to go up there. Yeah. Oh, petro fuels. Okay. I keep hearing that gas prices are going to go up. I called for $4 a gallon of gas, not including California. I'm talking about for regular states. And I guess you're now getting some of the market analysts calling for $5 a gallon of gas this year. So it's going to be, we're going to get hit, guys, economically. Electricity prices, fuel prices, food prices, anything like that is going up. So, anything you can stock is all you're doing is saving yourself a little bit of money right now. Sure, eventually, you're going to have to go, I've got 5-gallon cans of gas. Sure, eventually I'm going to use them and I'm going to have to go buy more. But I'd rather be buying it here at $2.79 than buying it, when I need it at $3.29 and then having to replace it or whatever it would be. So, yeah, prices of fuel are going up. Like I said, my call was for $4. Now I'm hearing people calling for $5. KKR, did I hear any of Trump's speech today in Ohio? No, I did not. I was out pounding a hammer and running a saw all day. So it's like before I came on to see you guys, it was sit down for about 15 minutes, eat dinner, grab a shower, and that was it. Because if you would have seen me an hour ago, it was not a pretty sight. Diane Lashik, I put boiled water in my empty mason jars until I need the jars. Okay, I'd love to know what the reason is for that. Unless it's just that's how you're saving water. I mean, and at that point, that makes a lot of sense. So maybe that's it, and I'm just not thinking, which has been known to happen. Tammy Eaker, hello everyone. Potato Joe has lost it. Camel Toe is no good. So now what do we do now? Yeah, I mean, you think about the laws of diminishing returns? If Joe leaves, we get Harris. If Harris leaves, we get Pelosi. It's like this is the thing that's keeping Joe in power because he's going, hey guys, if you get rid of me, every other option is worse. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into the November fiasco, but it completely dumbfounds me that supposedly the American public wanted this guy to be president, I mean, here's a guy who calls everybody else racist, yet he is one. His family is one. I mean, he's made more disparaging comments about every other ethnicity that you can imagine. The guy can't think straight. He wants to be friends with our enemies and enemies with our friends. I mean, he's more qualified to be the leader in North Korea than he is the United States. So I don't know. It's something just ain't right. I mean, I'd say, okay, if there was something that made sense, but there's nothing about this presidency that makes any sense. If somebody give me one idea of going, hey, this is why, other than lie, cheat, and steal, I'd be more than happy to listen to it. Nobody can give me one. One John Thompson, what do I think about the proposal for 100,000 new federal police? That scares the crap out of me. Okay, and I know who the hell put it forward. It was a Republican that put it forward too. Not that means a whole lot of hill of beans at this point. I don't want a federal police force. Okay? We don't need a federal police. It's the last thing we need is our own version of the Gestapo running around. Okay, we don't. Again, I'm not overly enthralled with the idea of police. Period. I'm more of a believer that the sheriff should be the one running the show, because for the most part, the sheriff is an elected official from the local area. He's not appointed. And I know everybody will say, yeah, but you elect the mayor or whoever it is, and they appoint the police. Okay, there's a difference. The sheriff is more localized, if you will, than police. And I do not, under any circumstance, want a federal police force. I think that's a disaster waiting to happen. Warner P. Pinball. Constantine told us today on the live he was turned into the KGB. A subscriber told someone he was turned in. Okay, that would be. Honey, correct me if I'm wrong. The KGB doesn't even exist anymore. It's the GRU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
FSB.
Or FSB. Okay. Okay. So there. Yeah. I haven't heard anything on that one. Interesting though, hi Pinball. What vegetables do you plant in July? We're in Morgan County, Tennessee. This would be a good time, if you haven't done it anymore, to get in your watermelons, your fruits. Okay. Your melons, stuff like that, your hot temperature type melons, cantaloupes, honeydews. That's what you want to get in the ground now, because then you'll have a nice harvest by fall. Vegetables wise around here, it's too hot for some stuff and too late for other stuff. I mean, there's somebody emailed me today, I think it was, or made a comment about potatoes, and I'm like, potatoes need 120 days. We're pushing 1st of July. That's August, September, October, November. If you've got 120 days and your area doesn't have a freeze by the 1st of November, you could probably get potatoes in right now. My area has, our first freeze date is before the 1st of November. So, sorry, still thirsty. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Treasures in Kentucky. My corn has tassels on it, taller than me, and grow bags and kiddie pools. Cool. You probably got yours in a lot earlier than mine. Mine is probably knee-high-ish right now. So, which certainly ain't taller than me. So, Rooster Cogburn started a laying-style beehive. So far, very impressed with the production. I can't speak because I don't know squat about raising bees. So, yeah, but definitely something worth having or whatever, for the honey, for the pollinators. I mean, there's a, if you're comfortable with doing it, having bees is definitely a good prep. Lorna P, if you here tonight were with me on this morning's live, the verified Constantine said it. I'm not doubting he said it. I'm just trying to figure it out because, I mean, unless he's just using the term KGB because most Americans know that acronym. But I'm not doubting whatsoever that somebody's turned him in. You know what's going on over there, and I mean he puts it all out there too. Dove Jacobs, Pinball, I've been harvesting squash like crazy. My peppers are coming off like mad too. My peppers are doing well. I haven't got any squash at all to speak of. So I think that it's that number one garden, the one that had the old soil in it. I think that garden is lost, and I'm going to have to redo it because the only thing that's got any good production out of there was my peas, and the beets did okay. But other than that, it's been The rest of the gardens with my soil, and it's done a lot better. Janita Walser, how would you use pool water to drink? You're probably pretty close to being able to do it, depending on how heavily chlorinated your pool is. You're probably pretty close to being able to just use it as is. I'd still boil it first, but I'd take the pool water out. Take a bucket of pool water out and let it sit outside the pool. Let the chlorine evaporate off of it as much as possible. Then I'd probably boil it. David Creason, killed all my pickle bucket tomatoes, but got cucumbers in my kiddie swimming pool. What caused you to kill the tomatoes? Is it just too hot, or not enough space for roots, or not enough water? I mean, the heat'll do it. That's for sure. Northern Ohio, supposed to hit 110 on Wednesday. God. I cannot imagine that up there. Vegetable television. Who's running this country? Bozo. Bozo Obama. That's who's running the country. Running it into the ground is what he's doing. Remember, their objective is to destroy this country. Obama was the first president who openly hated the United States. And some reason the idiots in this country elected him twice. So, hey, I hate the United States. Let me run it. And, you had all these people, oh, but he's such a great speaker, and he's so charismatic, and he's got no fucking brain. But that's worst president in history, and Biden's trying to take that title. Nunzio, have you been following the questioning of the FBI head this week? If so, any feedback? This was a real crazy week for me. I haven't been following a ton of stuff. I was watching some of the stuff on some of the hearings, but I haven't seen anything on what's going on with the FBI and all this January 6th stuff and everything like that. I've seen blurbs, and I have not had the time to read into a lot of this. Yesterday was the first day I had any chance to spend a good portion of the day checking out what was going on in the world. Chief Jim, should we move further north, or is the weather flip-flopping? Well, from what everybody's telling me about the weather, it sounds like it's flip-flopping. 110 in northern Idaho, but it's 90 in East Tennessee. Okay. I don't think it's. I think way south. I don't know. Dave Williams, can you tell us what the temperatures are like down in Mexico? Maybe that give us an idea. Now we're talking northern Idaho to central Mexico. There's thousands of miles. That would give us an idea. Janice Kirk, does Grand Solar minimum affect fishing? Last year was great. This year's been lousy. Sure, because the water temperature is everything. And, as it gets hotter out, the fish go deeper. That they're not going to sit up at top and cook. So, yeah, Grand Solar minimum definitely going to affect fishing. Rooster Cogburn, what kind of hand pump do I have for my well? I don't know. The damn thing's red. It's just got a pump handle on it about yay big. I don't know what kind it's called. It's just a hand pump. Vicky Savage, you might try to plant a few every couple of weeks to learn the best time to plant. Yes, that's a good way of doing things. A little late to do that this year, but yes, that is a good way to do it. But again, you don't know what, the weather isn't constant from one year to the next. So, Foggy Mountain Man, good evening, Pinball. Looking forward to a smoking video. Yeah, once I get the deck done, then the backyard will be at least workable, and then I can actually, on 4th of July, I know I'm smoking brisket, so. Joe DeFazio, an animal took out my beans, peas, cukes, just reseeded. Peas, I don't know where you are. Peas are a cool weather crop. You're not going to have luck with peas until maybe the fall. Tammy Ramsey, I'm looking in the shade cloth for my raised beds. That's probably a good idea. Adam Clay, do I think this weather is natural? Like I said, I can't speak for HARP, okay, but I know this weather is affected by the Grand Solar minimum. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. See, Jules saying her container peppers up in Ohio were pitiful. The ones planted in the garden are monsters. Yeah, this is making no sense this year. Usually, potted vegetable plants will do, most of them will do better than the ones in the garden because you got complete control over that soil. But the container peppers are pitiful, and the ones planted in the gardens, I don't know. I mean, nobody's got all the answers to gardens. Master gardeners don't, and I'm certainly not a master gardener. Kathy Swan, good evening. Any thoughts on Yellen's comments regarding the U.S. financial institute or financial situation? She's clueless. Okay. Oh, transitory inflation. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, you got other economists are saying we're going to have 5% inflation by the end of the year, on top of what we're at now. Okay. I told you the other day, we're already at, if you measure like we did in 1980, at 13%. Okay. Add 5 to where that is. Okay. That's still new measurement. That's 18%. All right. So that means everything that cost you 80 cents last year cost you $1 this year. Good luck. Bruce Sear, hey Pinball, how's the fishing been? For me, couldn't even begin to tell you. I've got a line in the water once for a half an hour, and that was it. Didn't catch anything, and that was all. Guys, I hate to do this to you. I got to shut this thing down for 5 minutes. I will be back in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. I'm just going to pause this, but I will be right back.
everybody. How are you doing? Pinball will be here soon. Don't go away anywhere. Ой. Ой, а не больше, не больше. А сейчас я тебе покажу чуть-чуть и все. Ой, все испугалась. Here is another dog for you. There she is. Enough. Пойдем. Пойдем, как мы хотим, пойдем.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I cut myself this afternoon pretty well on my leg, and it just started bleeding, and I needed to go clean that up real quick because I started dripping down my leg. But, okay, my apologies there, but that's kind of priorities there. Just make sure I'm not bleeding all over the house. Let's see what we got. Voodoo Queen says 6 inches of rain over the last 2 days, more to come the next 5 days. Jeez, garden swimming. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, so many places getting so much water, and then other places getting nothing. I heard Mrs. Pinball popped in here real quick, so we need a Mrs. Pinball segment. Brandy F, what do I see happening July 31st when millions are homeless? It's not going to be that quick, okay? I think it's going to be relatively, but remember, in most places you need a court order to evict somebody. It's not like January 31st, you didn't pay your rent, August 1st, you're out on the street, okay? You're going to have a lot of people who are going to book at that point. But if they don't have anywhere else to go, they're not going to. They're going to try to fight evictions, and then you get states like California that are saying, oh, we're going to try to pay all the back rent for people, which means, take tax money and give it to the landlords. I don't mind that, but, pay the back rent and then tell the people either you pay your rent going forward or you're out. Because, this is the thing that bothers me more than anything else about this, guys. For better than a year, we've had stimulus checks, we've had unemployment, we've had federal unemployment additional to it. People have been getting paid. And, granted, for a lot of people, it wasn't what they were making at their job. But, I've said many times, one of the most important things that you keep is a roof over your head and food in your belly. Those are the two most important things. It's not video games. It's not your subscription to Netflix, or, whatever it would be. Those aren't priorities. But so here now, with like what California is doing, they're trying to give a stimulus, if you will, to the landlords and pay all the back rent. So now the person who sat on their ass and watched cartoons and played video games for the last year, he gets all his rent paid. The person who took a job that was beneath them, saved their money, tapped into their savings, did whatever, and paid their rent, what do they get? Nothing. Okay. It's kind of like the idiocy about unemployment. It's like Biden comes out and says, oh yeah, if you're collecting unemployment, we're going to make that federally tax-free this year. Okay, so what about the people who did the responsible thing and kept their job, not quit, or not said, I'm not working, I'm going to collect unemployment? And they still got to pay taxes. Okay. So over and over and over again, I'm seeing people get punished for doing the right thing. Maybe not punished for doing the right things, but certainly rewarded for doing the wrong things, you know, and that's just not right. There is a thing in this world called personal responsibility, and it drives me nuts, but it doesn't surprise me that there are so many irresponsible people in this country, in this world, who figure, oh, the government will take care of me. It's not. Please understand this. It's not the government taking care of you. It's your neighbor taking care of you, because your neighbor gave the government the money, and the money then handed it over to you. Okay, the government creates nothing except problems. Okay, so they don't earn any money. All they do is take. Okay, the government does nothing to earn money. The only things that they do to earn are not political, if you will. The post office that should be earning money, but it loses money every year. Okay, that's not a political position. It's the U.S. Post Office, but it's not governmental, if you will. So that's the thing. When you hear stimulus check, that's not, or extra unemployment, that's not the government helping you out. That's everybody else in your community who's giving you that money. So rather than them have it for themselves that they earned it, somebody's taking it from them. That's a problem to me. Okay, and shot to the bottom, so I'm gonna go look again. Hear what we got. Oh, here we got a whole bunch of Hi Mrs. P's. I heard her in there as I was mopping up. Mrs. Pinball, cute puppies. Okay. Michael asks, how do you make borscht? Michael, go to the playlist on the channel, and there's a segment in there called Cooking with Mrs. Pinball, and one of them is how to make borscht. Let's see, where are we? Hot glue gun will fix that cut right up. Put some rhinestones in it if you really want to jazz it up. Now, it was just a little bit of wet toilet paper, mop it up, and throw a bandage on it there real quick. So, but yeah, again, nice little big old square bandage about yay big. Sangerman Marquette, can we citizens arrest crooked politicians, including Potato? Technically, yeah. Good luck ever getting close enough to do it, but yeah, technically you could. Amy Arsenault, Danny getting hammered with rain. I'm assuming you're talking about Deep South Homestead, and if they are getting hammered, I'm betting they're having a hard time doing their Saturday night live stream, because I know they're on satellite internet, which I had. I thank God for fiber optic, and it works, that we finally got it out here. But I know Danny and Wanda are stuck with still with the satellite, and oh man, that's painful. Kenneth Oliver, what do you do for tomato wilt? There's many reasons for it. I mean, you could be a lack of nitrogen, you could be a lack of water, you could be too much water. Yeah, I'd need to know more than just tomato wilt. Yeah, I mean, there's many causes for that. Morning Light Pinball, it's unanimous. We want a Mrs. Pinball segment. Hell, you guys would rather have her every Tuesday and Saturday night rather than me at all together. I know that. Bruce Sear, what has the eviction notice been extended to? Yes, Biden extended it till the end of July. So he said last time it's going to be extended. They extended one more month. And that was so they could distribute so they had time to distribute some of this federal aid that was given. Like they haven't had enough time already. I mean, it's pretty easy. You're a landlord, apply, we pay, done. But no, there's too much red tape in there, meaning too many politicians going, where's my cut? Okay. I was reading a story about a bill in California, or a bond issue that I think it was in 2016, went up. It was $2.1 billion. They floated a bond issue. Okay. Basically what that is they issue bonds. Okay. You buy $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 worth of bonds, they pay you interest. But so California raised $2.1 billion to build homes for the homeless, to build shelters, whatever would be. All right. The bond issue was to build 100,000 houses in 2016. It's 2021. Guess how many they've built? 3. In 5 years, with 2.1 billion houses, or $2.1 billion, they have built 3 houses. Because you have all the politicians going, I need some money. Give me some of that green. Okay? Nope. You know what? I need some more. That's what's going on. All crooked politicians and the crooked civil servants. Prep and Mama Pinball, I work DoorDash. Sent you a very interesting development in your email. Let's look at it real quick. And somebody's either shooting a gun or fireworks. Oh, that's fireworks, gotta be. So my dogs are probably hiding. And there comes the email. Due to our dwindling food supply, we're closing our lobby so we can keep better track of supplies and update everyone as progress. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Sincerely apologize when we're out of product. The distribution center that handles the entire tri-state area is understaffed and canceled all food orders to our stores, so they can get caught back up. We're currently working on a solution to this, but the earliest I was quoted for my food order is possibly Monday. And this is a Taco Bell. So, yeah. But you're seeing that. I mean, the restaurants are raising prices now. I told you the story about me and Mrs. P going out to dinner for burgers. What was it? A week ago yesterday. And there was no staff. And I mean, the food prices are going up. There are no employees. This is the demise of business. I mean, where everybody goes, food. You know what? I'll just run to McDonald's and get something. Till McDonald's has no beef. Till McDonald's has no potatoes, no French fries. Till McDonald's has no help, or Taco Bell or Kentucky Fried Chicken or wherever the hell you want to eat. When there's no food and no help, you're not eating there today. Okay. When they're all gone, oh, gee, you want to eat? Order your food from Amazon. Of course. Amazon will exist. All right. Let's see. Zach Ajal, they're promoting hyperinflation to bring in FedCoin digitally. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about it. They said they've got the plan for FedCoin for somewhere, I think it was 1 to 3 years is when they plan on rolling it out. But, somebody please answer me this one. When has the government ever rolled out a program that's worked? Okay? I don't know. Tell me Social Security's working so well. Tell me food stamps, welfare, tell me any financial program that the United States government that's ever rolled out has worked. I mean, the U.S. Federal Reserve, you gonna tell me that works? Okay. Our currency, the only reason our currency is still the reserve currency in the world is because everybody else is more screwed up than ours is. Brandy, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, they're not promoting hyperinflation. I mean, they're discounting it. They're like, oh, this is just transitory. It's just temporary. Don't worry about it, But yeah, they're trying to bring in the digital currency, and that will be an utter train wreck, and is probably the stupidest thing that anybody's ever supported. I've said this on videos before. Do you honestly want a situation where, think how easy this is. The government says, we're rationing stuff now. I go, well, I don't care. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm sorry, Mr. Pinball, you've already bought 2 loaves of bread this month. We're rejecting that transaction. Okay. And you know what? You've already taken your allotment of 2 pounds of tomatoes this month. So you can't have that either. And there's going to be a guy picking all the stuff off the grocery cart saying, no, you can't have that. Okay. You know, oh, you know what? No, Mrs. Jones, we're trying to get everybody in the United States to quit smoking, so you're no longer allowed to buy cigarettes. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. We want everybody to own electric cars, so we're gonna deny your purchase here at the gas station. This is what's possible, guys. They can tell you what you can and cannot buy, and you will be forced to only buy what is approved for purchase by you. Okay. You want to go buy ammunition? Nope, sorry, that ain't ever happening. You're not getting that. So, think about it. That's how scary this digital coin is. Everybody's going, yay, this is going to be great. No, you're an idiot. So, Singerman Marquette, if the Fed can continue printing money, then why do we have to continue paying taxes? Control. Hillbilly Homesteader 1776. I worked through COVID and didn't get rewarded. Yeah, you and me both. I didn't get any extra vacation time. I didn't get any extra pay, anything like that. I didn't get a break on my taxes, whatever it would be. No, I got laid off twice, and, congratulations, but that was what it was. South Colorado Stetter, Pinball, I got black on the stem crook of Anaheim peppers. Too much rain. It's never happened before. It's either too much rain or not enough calcium. Get some calcium nitrate there around your plants. You might have blossom end rot. Let's see. Where else are we? Oh, crap. We did make it to 10 o'clock. What do you know? And I'm still awake. South Colorado Stutter says, MIT has been doing prototypes for digital currency supposed to test in 6 months. Yeah. And this is why I keep saying, guys, they're not, this isn't going to be like, military currency in a wartime or something like that. They're not going to come in on a Friday night and say, effective Friday, all your red script is no longer good. You got to buy your, trade it in for blue. Okay, that's not what's going on. The U.S. dollar is still going to exist. They're going to roll out crypto slowly. My suggestion would be, as soon as you get your crypto, convert it to dollars, stick it in your safe at home. Okay, because the more you give them control, the more they're going to take control. And that is just way too scary for me. And like I said, I think if they roll crypto out, you instantly see a black market. That'll be running dollars until they shut the dollars down, and then it's going to be running precious metals, or it's going to be strictly a barter system. Because what are you going to do when they say, I'm sorry, you've had your 2 loaves of bread, or you've used your allotment for 20 gallons of gasoline this month, or whatever it would be, and it's the 15th, and you go, I still got 15 days. I got to get to work. I need gasoline. I'm sorry, sir. You're not allowed. You're going to go find it somewhere. And, that means either you're going to get it on a black market or it's going to be stolen. Well, a lot of people are going to turn to stealing it too. So, yeah, again, can't think past here. The typical Democrat way of, going. So, crypto is the most moronic idea. I mean, Bitcoin is stupid, but a Federal Reserve cryptocurrency is terrifying and stupidity beyond belief. But then again, that would be the definition of Washington. Both sides, okay? So, all right, it is 10 o'clock, and I apologize for the brief interruption there, but I don't want to clean up blood after all's done. So, all right, guys, have a good one. We will see y'all in the morning. I will talk to you then. Have a nice Saturday night. Pinball out.